Good morning, children. This is lecture 2 of chapter Structure of Atom. In this lecture, we will study about the valency. We will learn how to write the formula of a compound and about the periodic table. Let us start this lecture with valency. Next is coming valency. The combining capacity of an element is called valency. In an atom, electrons are arranged around the nucleus in different shells. The outermost shell is called the valence shell, and the number of electrons present in the valence shell is called valence electron. What it is saying? The combining capacity of an element is called valency. In an atom, electrons are arranged around the nucleus in a different shells. I already explained this to you. The outermost shell is called the valence shell. And the number of electrons present in the valence shell is called valence electron. Just let me explain it to you. Suppose I am taking sodium. This is having atomic number 11. Now it can be divided into shells in this way. First shell contains 2 electron. Second shell contains maximum of 8 electron. And the last third shell, so 8 and 2, 10 is already over. 1 is left. So third shell will contain 1 electron. Now there is a rule which shell will contain how many electron. When you will go to the next class, you will learn about it. Okay. Now I have to just draw the structure of this atom. Sodium. So this is the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, proton and neutrons are present. Now proton, 11 protons are there. The atomic mass of sodium is 23. Atomic mass is 23. This is atomic mass of sodium. So that means number of neutron is 12. I've just subtracted atomic number from atomic mass. So I'm getting number of neutron. Now I'm having 3 shell or orbit. So this is number 1. This is number 2 and this is number 3. Okay. Now in the first shell I am having 2 electrons. Electrons will be represented by the cross. You can represent it by dot also. Now next shell is having 8 electrons. So just put 8 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And the third orbit is having 1 electron. So just put it anywhere. Now what it is said, the outermost shell is called valence shell. That means this shell is known as valence shell. And the number of electrons present in the valence shell is called valence electron. So it is having only 1 electron. So this is known as valence electron. Am I clear to you? Now come to the next paragraph. Valency is always a whole positive number. However, usually with valency of an element or a radical, that is positive or negative charge is associated, which decides how a compound should be formed between 2 elements or an element and a radical. When you will learn how to form the compound, then you will come to know. You are having a little bit of idea about it, how to form the compound. When you will do it, you will get a fair idea about it. Commonly used valencies of some elements. Now here you can see the elements with their valencies are given. with a charge. Generally, valencies are not having any charge. Valency is simply, the valency of hydrogen is simply 1. But the charge we are writing here, because this is important, this is required when we are writing the compound, the formula of a compound by some method. Then we are using, suppose I am talking about the valency of hydrogen, it is only 1. But when you will use it for writing a formula, then we are writing +1. That means it is associated with a charge. So here it is shown plus and minus, but actually valency is not having any charge, but we are using the charge when we are forming a compound, when we are writing a compound with the help of this element, then we are using charge and the valency both. Just see here, the nitrogen is having both the valencies -3 and +5. Okay, boron is having valency +3. Titanium is having valency +4. So all these things you have to learn. Now, from the next few slides, I will show you how to write the formula of a compound. Though it is not given in your book, but without knowing how to write the formula of the compound, it is incomplete. So very simple formula writing by crisscross method by using the valencies, I'll explain from next slides, and few slides I will show you how to write the formula of a compound, and this is included. So you may get writing a formula, very simple formula writing you may get with the help of these valencies. So please practice those things, and I will show you how to do that. But again, I'm repeating, this is not given in your book. This is the extra things we are giving to you. And you know a little bit about it because you have learned it a little bit in standard 6 also, and standard 8 also it is there. So this extra thing we are giving to you. Formula of a compound. How to write the formula of a compound, and what is actually a formula of a compound represent? Formulas are combination of symbols that represent a compound. It's a combination of symbol. I'm just coming to that, what it is saying. A formula indicates which elements are involved and the number of atoms of each element contained in the compound. How many atoms are present? As I have given you the example of water. What I said, the water, the formula is H2O. That means it is said that formula are the combination of symbols that represent a compound. What is the combination of symbol means? The symbol, you know that the water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So symbol of hydrogen is H2. This is H2 hydrogen, and symbol of oxygen is O. This is oxygen. So that means it is giving you the symbol of the elements hydrogen and oxygen. Second, a formula indicates which elements are involved. Which elements are involved? Hydrogen and oxygen. And the number of atoms. How many atoms are present? So by seeing the formula, you can say that 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen is present in 1 molecule of water. So have you understood what formula is representing? Similarly, if I am talking about suppose methane, the formula is CH4. So what are the things? What are the symbols that, what is combination of the symbols formula, the combination of the symbols, what are the element present here? Carbon and hydrogen. So what is the symbol of carbon? That is C, and the symbol of hydrogen, that is H. Okay, and Second point is a formula indicates which elements are involved. Carbon and hydrogen. How many atoms of carbon? 1. And how many atoms of hydrogen? 4. So this is a formula is representing. Now a very important thing, how to write the formula of a chemical compound, which is known as chemical formula. What is the chemical formula of a particular compound? Okay, if I'm asking how it is written, what are the rules? There are certain rules for writing the chemical formula. So, suppose I want to write, just see this slide. Suppose I want to write the formula of a compound aluminium chloride. Suppose my compound is aluminium chloride. So what are the things that you have to do? The first is write down the formula in words. You have written aluminium chloride. Okay. The next is put in the chemical symbol. So write down aluminium. The symbol of aluminium is Al and symbol of chloride is Cl. This is chloride ion. Okay, I'll not say chlorine. I'll not say aluminium chlorine. I'll say aluminium chloride. What is ion? What is that? I will explain to you afterwards. Next, write in the valencies. So, you have written the symbol, then write the valency. The valency of aluminium is 3, and when we are writing the valency, we will not write the sign, but actually it is having a positive sign, so it is 3 plus. We will write in this way at the top 3 plus, and chloride is Cl minus. It is Cl, not visible. Cl minus. Minus, only minus written. That means nothing is there. That means 1 is here. Okay. Then what we are doing? Balance the valencies by cross multiplying. What we will do? Let me show you here. I am writing aluminium 3 plus and chloride minus 1. You can write 1, you may not write 1. If you will not write 1, then it is understood that it is 1 is here. And if you want to write, it's no problem, you can write. Then what you will do? First you have to write the valencies at the top. And then you crisscross. Bring this 1 here with Al and bring this plus 3 to Cl. Okay. So what I am getting now, after bringing aluminium with aluminium, this 1 will come without sign. Please follow me what I am saying. 1 will come down without sign. And this 1 will be written here. Now, not at the top, here. You have to write 1 here. And then next you write down Cl. Along with this 3 is coming. So 3 will be here. Now this one you may write, you may not write. Generally we are not writing. If 1 is there, we are not writing. And then your formula is AlCl3. This is the formula of aluminium chloride. This is known as crisscross method. Am I clear to you, children? The last slide was a general one. Now see here. Rule 1. Crisscross rule. What you have to do? What are the steps that you have to do? Write the correct symbol of the element I told you. Above each symbol, write the correct valencies I told you. To obtain the proper subscript, crisscross the valencies and drop the algebraic sign. I told you, let me show you once again here. They have written the formula aluminium oxide. This is aluminium oxide. Aluminium, first you write down in words, then you write down the symbol. Aluminium means Al. Oxide means oxygen, O. This is known as iron. This is known as iron. When we are talking about iron, then we are writing in a formula, then it is written as oxide. Oxide is the ion of oxygen. Now what is iron? I'll explain to you. Now oxide I have written. Now write down the valencies at the top. So it will be in the superscript. Aluminium, the valency is +3. And oxygen, this is oxygen with the valency 2-. I ask you to learn the valencies, okay? This is very important, otherwise you will not be able to write. -2. Next step, what I told you, crisscross. Bring this 2 down with L and bring this 3 down with O. That means write down the subscript. Okay, so what it will come, I said without sign you bring. So Al along with this 2 will come, crisscross. So 2 I will write here in the subscript now. Now we will not write anything in the superscript. And O, along with O 3 will come. So the formula of aluminium oxide is Al2O3. See here, Al2O3. Am I clear, children? So here I have taken the formula of aluminium oxide. Again it is said the same thing. Steps in writing formula. Number 1, determine the symbol of the elements in a compound. That means the symbols are given here, some symbols. Potassium is K, sodium is Na, calcium is Ca, magnesium is Mg, aluminium is Al, silver is Ag. And then number 2, determine the valencies of each of the atom. See here, potassium is +1 valency, sodium is +1 valency. See calcium here, calcium is having +2 valency. Then here it is magnesium, so magnesium is having +2 valency. Then it is aluminium is having +3 valency. Then silver is having +1 valency. Okay, let us see what is given in the third step. Third step, write the positive elements symbol first. This is very important. You have noticed that I have written first in the left hand side, I have written the positive one and the negative one in the right hand side. Suppose I have to write the symbol of ferric chloride. As I told you, iron is having 2 valencies. I showed it to you, Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. This is your ferric and this is your ferrous. Okay, now it is ferric, so I have to take this one. And ferrous, ferric, both symbol is Fe. So that means it is iron, ferrous, ferrum, that means, so I have written here Fe first. Now it is ferric, so its valency is +3. Now chloride means it is coming from chlorine. The symbol is Cl. This is again iron, okay, that is why chloride. Cl, and the valency of chloride ion is minus. Now only minus means 1. You may write, you may not write. Now what is the next step? You have to crisscross. Just do the crisscross. So what actually in third rule it is saying? First you write down the positive one. I have written the Fe3 plus first. And then you write down the Cl minus. Okay, now crisscross. So Fe will, this 1 will come with Fe and 3 will come with Cl. My formula is FeCl3. I am not writing 1 here. If you write, it's not wrong, but generally 1 we are not writing. Suppose I have to write aluminium sulfide. I'm writing here sulfide. Okay, aluminium is the symbol Al with the valency +3. That means you can see that the +1 I have written first. Sulfide is having formula S, sulfur. From sulfur it is sulfide. The valency is 2-. So -1 is at the right hand side. First left hand side is the aluminium 3+ and right hand side sulfide. Okay, then you have to crisscross. See here, after crisscrossing what we are getting? Al2 will come here and As3 will come here. Al2S3. See, I have got the formula here. This is aluminium sulfide. And see, this is ferric chloride. The formula is FeCl3. Similarly, copper oxide, Cu2O. Now, when the subscript is 1, subscript is not written. Suppose in both the atoms are having valency 1. Like here, it is shown here, potassium iodide. Potassium, the symbol of potassium is K with the valency +1. Iodide is coming from iodine. It is I with a valency -1. So this is also having -1 valency and this is having +1 valency. This is having -1 valency, this is having +1 valency. Now crisscross. What you are getting? K with this one without symbol and I with this one without symbol. This 1 and 1 we will not write. So what we are getting? Ki. Am I clear? Similarly, suppose NaCl I will write sodium chloride. Symbol of sodium is Na with valency +1. Chloride is coming from chlorine, Cl with valency -1. Crisscross. With sodium, this one is coming from chlorine, this one is coming. Cl, this one is coming and both are having 1 and 1. So the formula simply written as NaCl. See here, NaCl. Am I clear to you? Some more examples of valency 1 are shown here. Just see, the first one is sodium bromide. Na +1 and Br +1. So it is coming to NaBr. Because 1 and 1 is not written. K1 and I1. So the symbol is Ki. Crisscross, 1 and 1 will come, that is not written. NaCl, I already shown it to you, NaCl. Then it is KOH, potassium hydroxide, KOH. You can see here it is potassium is having 1 + 1. This will be +1. Just let me write it. This will be +1. And OH is hydroxide having -1. So this 2 will come here and it is not written. So the formula is KOH. Okay. Potassium chloride, KCl, the valency is +1 and -1. Okay. So this will come here and KCl is written. Clear? Children, have you understood? Now, next rule is when the valencies of both elements are numerically equal but greater than 1. It is not only 1 but they are having the same value, both the elements. Okay, then what we are doing, then also we are not writing the subscript. How? I am just showing it to you. Suppose I want to write iron 2 oxide, ferrous oxide. This also can be written iron ferrous, I said. So iron 2 oxide. Now I have to write iron 2. As I told you, iron means it is Fe. 2 means it is having the valency 2 plus. And oxide is oxygen. From oxygen it is coming. So it is the valency O is with the valency minus 2. Now see, both are having the same valency but it is greater than 1. In that case also we will not write the subscript. Why? How? See this crisscross, the crisscross. So with Fe this 2 will come, and with oxygen these 2 will come. This from Fe this 2 will come here. And now as this is also having 2, this is also having 2, then it is coming in 2 stable. 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2. Okay, so what I'm getting 1 and 1, and as I told you we are not writing 1, so it is FeO. Actually this is the thing happening. Similarly calcium oxide. Calcium oxide. The symbol of calcium is Ca. The valency is 2 plus. And oxide is oxygen with the valency 2 minus. Now again crisscross. So with this Ca, this minus 2 will come. That means 2 will come. And with oxygen, this 2 will come. Now 2 and 2. So what I will do? I have to 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, reduce. So I'm getting 1 and 1. So it is CaO. Am I clear to you? That is why it is written. If the valencies are same, equal but greater than 1, then also we are not writing. Actually, it is just with it is coming in one something stables together similarly, and that is why it is just reducing each other. Now next one is, if there is a common factor between the valencies, then what will happen? Suppose I want to write carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Now here I am having, how we are getting it? See, carbon is having formula C, symbol C with a valency 4 plus. And oxide, C only oxide, this is oxygen with valency 2. Now crisscross. So what we are getting? C with that this 2 will come, and oxygen this 4 will come. Now you see this 2 and 4, it is coming in 2 stable. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So I am reducing it. So what I am getting? C1 and O2. So 1 I will not write. The formula is CO2. Have you understood, children? Now next is coming periodic table. What is periodic table? It's a totally new term for you. Now till date there are 118 elements known. All these elements have been arranged in a tabular form in order of their increasing atomic number. You know about the atomic number? Atomic number of hydrogen is 1, helium is 2, lithium is 3, like that. So they are arranged in a table, in a tabular form in order of their increasing atomic number. Okay. So this tabular form is called periodic table. In periodic table, there are some horizontal rows. They are called periods, very important. And vertical columns, they are called groups. The elements arranged in a group exhibit periodicity in their physical and chemical properties. What is the meaning of it? If the elements are arranged in a group, I'll just show it to you in the next slide. Then the properties of the elements belonging to that particular group will show you the similar physical and chemical properties, and that is why we are arranged it in a particular way, in a tabular form. We are arranging the elements because if you arrange them in a particular group, they are showing similar chemical and physical properties. It will be easy for us to remember. The elements in a group have same number of valence electrons. This is very important. The elements in a group have same number of valence electron, and that is why they are showing the same physical and chemical properties, because the valence electron is only responsible for their chemical properties. Okay, so we are keeping them in a particular group. Elements arranged in periods also shown certain pattern in their physical and chemical properties. Now in this class, knowing up to this much is enough, because periodic table is a separate chapter. You will study about periodic table when you will go to standard 9 and 10 also. Okay, so here just you know that there are 118 elements. They are arranged in a particular manner in tabular form in order of their increasing atomic number. This is very important, increasing atomic number, and that particular table, that tabular form, is called periodic table. In periodic table we are having two things. One is the period, another is the group. Now the horizontal rows are known as period and the vertical columns are known as groups. Similar atoms which are showing similar type of physical and chemical properties, they are kept in a particular group. And in the group, the elements are present in a particular group. They are having the same number of valence electrons, and that is why the valence electrons are responsible for their physical and chemical properties. So the elements are arranged in a particular group are showing same type of physical and chemical properties. Okay, in the periods also the elements are showing certain pattern in their physical and chemical properties. Now see here, this is the periodic table where the elements are placed in a particular manner. This periodic table is having horizontal rows as well as vertical rows. The horizontal rows, just see this one, this is the horizontal rows. Suppose this is known as period, and see this orange color, this is a group. In this group we are having the element beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Now they all are coming in a same group, that is the group number 2A. Now in this group the elements beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium, all the elements are showing similar properties, physical and chemical properties. They are having same number of valence electrons. Just let me show you. Suppose I am taking beryllium, whose atomic number is 4. Now I have to break this electron in the orbit. Now the first orbit, as I told you, it can accommodate 2 electrons, and the second orbit can accommodate 8 electrons. But it is having only 4 electrons, so 2 are going in the first orbit. So 2 left, it will go in the second orbit. So second orbit is having valence electron 2. Now come to magnesium. Now magnesium atomic number is 12. Just break it. It is 2. Second orbit can accommodate 8. So 10 is over. Now 2 is left. So third orbit can accommodate 2 electrons. Now these 2 electrons are the valence electron. Come to calcium. Calcium is having 20. Now the first orbit can accommodate 2. The second orbit can accommodate 8. And the third orbit should accommodate 18. But due to some reason it is accommodating maximum of 8 only. So now it is 2 and 8, 10 and in 18 and only 2 left. So 2 will go in the fourth orbit. Now calcium is also having 2 valence electrons. Now you can see that all beryllium, magnesium, calcium, they are having 2 electrons in their valence shell. So their valence electron is 2. All their valence electrons are 2. So they are showing similar chemical and physical properties. And the electrons are arranged in their increasing atomic number. Okay, the first atomic number 1, hydrogen is here, helium is here, atomic number 2. Then lithium is 3, beryllium is 4, boron is 5, carbon is 6, nitrogen is 7, oxygen is 8, fluorine is 9 and neon is 10. Like that, the electrons are arranged in increasing atomic number. Okay, now periodic table, as I told you, you will learn about all these things in detail when you will go to the higher classes. Now, how an element is represented in the periodic table. Just see what are the information that I can get from the periodic table. It is written like this: carbon 6, 12.01. 12.01, you can call it as 12. Its atomic mass is 12. Now 6 means it is atomic number, the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom, you all know about it. Now atomic mass is 12, the average mass of an atom in an element. Then the carbon is written, that means it is the name of the element, usually from a Greek or Latin word for the element or a substance containing the element, and C is the symbol, that is the short abbreviation for the element name. This all information that I am getting. A typical element, carbon, here is shown as an example. So what are the significance of periodic table? The symbol of an element we can get. Periodic table helps in determining the symbol of element, the valency of element, the mass number which is equal to the number of protons and the neutrons in the atom of an element. The mass number is usually denoted by A. And next is the number, atomic number, which is equal to the number of protons in an atom of the element, and the atomic number is usually denoted by Z. So suppose my element is X, we are denoting atomic number and mass number in the way that is mass number is written here Z and the atomic number here. Okay, am I clear? So carbon 12 and 6. Sometimes we are getting 6, 12 also. Okay. So these are the significance of periodic table. Please learn this. Along with this, the chapter atomic structure ends here. Please go through the videos carefully, learn whatever given to you, and consult your book for better understanding.